Hello everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled day. Continuing to learn about animal life cycles, there's a very important word we need to talk about so we can figure out more, about our animals. And that word today is, figure out where I want it, characteristic. Okay, that's a big word. Big word. Characteristic. Okay, now that word is really long. But you know what? It's not that scary. It's not that hard. Characteristic means quality. Okay? Quality or piece. Okay? A characteristic is like a piece of a puzzle. So if I say, tell me one characteristic of an animal that makes it your favorite animal, one characteristic you like about that animal. It's like me saying, tell me one thing you like about that animal. Okay? Not that hard. You can do it. It's just a big fancy way of saying something. Okay? Big fancy way of saying something. So, that being said, I want us to keep that in mind and to think about that as we continue this unit. Okay? So, I'm going to put this down right now. And we're going to use the word characteristic in our daily language from now on. So, I'm going to give us some examples. Okay? I happen to have this fun napkin right here. And one characteristic of this dog, can you think of one? One characteristic of this dog is that he's red, or that he's long, or that he's about as long as this marker, or shorter than my finger. Okay, those are all characteristics we can use to describe this dog, right? A characteristic I can use to describe this marker is that it's blue, or that it writes. Okay, or that since this is a Mr. Sketch marker, it smells. I have a cold right now, so I can't smell it, but it has a scent to it. I could smell it. Okay, those are characteristics. Those are things we can use to tell things apart from other things. Okay, this is a skill we're going to bring into play today. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign you an animal sort today. Now, it might be a little bit tricky, but I know you can do it. So I'm going to assign this differently. I'm not going to assign it in the weekly seesaw thing because I can't just put it in there. Okay, so this will be a totally separate seesaw post for just Thursday. Okay, now it's gonna look a little weird, but I know you can do it. It looks kind of like a tree. Okay, and it has a bunch of pictures on the side. I'll show it to you, and you'll see it when it gets to the post. Okay, and it has a bunch of Y's on it, and it has a bunch of N's on it. Okay, so there's words, and it branches off like this. And it continues to branch off like this. I'm drawing it for you real quick because I can go so fast. And it looks like this. Okay, see how there's a Y and an N, and then it keeps branching and branching and branching? Okay, so there's going to be pictures over here on the side. I'll explain this again. You'll see it again too, okay? And you're going to have a picture. You're going to focus on one of the pictures. Okay, there's a porcupine. And it's going to ask you a question. It's going to say, does it belong in the water? Do porcupines belong in the water? So you're going to follow the no. Nope, doesn't go in the water. So then it's going to ask you another question. Does it belong in a tree? Nope, you're going to follow it that way. Okay, and so on and so forth. So you're going to have to look at the characteristics of that animal to determine where on this, to figure out where on this page this picture should go. Okay, they all go in a special spot, but you have to pay attention to the characteristics or the special qualities of these animals to get them to the right spot. Okay, I know you can do it because I know you've been paying attention. Okay, now we pay attention to characteristics because they help us figure out what stage in a life cycle an animal is at. Okay, so say for instance we're talking about the life cycle of a frog. When tadpoles are still in their egg, they're very, very, very small. But we know it's actually a tadpole now, or we know something is a tadpole because it's no longer in its egg. When it comes out of the egg and we see it just swimming around, we know it's an actual tadpole. And then when it becomes a froglet, we know it's a froglet because it begins to sprout legs. Once we see those legs, we know it's beginning to change. And when it has 4 legs, we know it's becoming an adult. Okay? All of those things happen in a set order, a sequential order. They happen in a certain way. They can't happen any other way. Okay? Frogs don't hatch out of eggs with 4 legs ready to go. That's not how it works. You aren't born a fully grown human adult. That's not how it works. There's a set order. So life cycles happen a specific way. So they kind of happen like a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's just how it works. Always will be. Okay? So there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end to all life cycles. It's just how it is. Pardon me. Okay, so when we're talking about animals, you need to pay special attention to those characteristics so that you know how to categorize them, how to figure out where they belong. Okay, now you've been doing some great work this week, and I want us to make sure we continue to keep doing that work. So your activity for today, for Thursday, is to do this separate activity that I will post for you, okay? The background of it is green, okay? And so you can forget about the other one for that. This video will be separate. This video will be still in the Google Slides, but then I'll put instructions in that actual activity as well, okay? And then if you haven't done anything from Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday yet, make sure you keep up with that so that you aren't falling behind. Okay? And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.